Hello, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the second episode of The Mouth, where we dive into everything Gaelic games. I'm your host, PJ Keenan, and folks, we'll have a sponsor, Euro. So, this episode is proudly sponsored by Max Espresso, your go-to stop for locally roasted coffee, tasty food, and fast service. Whether you're sitting in or using their drive-thru, Max Espresso has you covered from breakfast to dinner with something for everyone. Today, we're going to dive into my All-Star picks. I actually thought the All-Stars would have been done and dusted by now, but they're not. I don't know what the hold-up is there. So, folks, whether you're a player or a coach, or simply just a passionate fan like myself, you're in the right place. So grab your favourite jersey as we gear up and discuss who made it into the Mouth's stellar All-Star lineup. Let's start with the goalkeeper, will we? I think so. I'll just come out straight away. My picks being Q's. I just have to say this. I've seen that James O'Donoghue and Paddy Andrews on the Football Pod podcast. I've seen their goalkeeper picks, and the word baffling doesn't even... I don't get it. O'Donoghue picked Niall Morgan. Niall Morgan, like, Tyrone never won a game. What? I don't get that. He said something like, "Oh, I didn't want to go Armagh heavy," but that's a bit shit for Brian Hughes. Like, if you're good enough, you get on. Shouldn't be, well, there's too many Armagh people. I didn't get that. And then that Jackeen chose Sean Patton. What? Paddy Andrews chose Sean Patton. Yes, okay. He saved the free kick, penalty in the Ulster final, but that doesn't win you. No, that doesn't. No, not for me. And then you've got the likes of Gleeson for Galway, and he kicked the winning point in the Connacht final, and made it to the All Ireland final, and doesn't even get it. That's baffling for me. So, your man's opinion, the two guys, their heads up their holes. Let's move on to the full back line. Full back line's completely changed these days, hasn't it? Loads of attacking. You wouldn't imagine Francie Bellew back in the day charging up the field. If you did, you'd have been saying, "What the fuck you at, Francie?" Boy McCambridge, man, he nailed on. In my opinion, anyway. I think he should be. I think he should get Player of the Year. So do. But whether he will or not, you know yourself. He even chipped in with a couple of nice goals this year, like the goal against Kerry. Just the reactions of it, and then that showed us a wee bit of handball experience that he has. Then we've got Aaron McKay. You know what I mean? Aaron McKay, leader in that back line. Leader knows his role, does it to perfection, keeps everybody right. I think a lot of players feel a bit safer when Aaron's around, and even chipped in with a wee goal in the All-Ireland final. Not too many people can say they've done that in their lifetime. And if all else, that could win you an Ulster, or sorry, an All-Star. Then now, my next choice could be a bit strange for people, but I went Peter Mogan of Donegal. Peter Mogan had a great year, kicking some tasty wee points. And let's be honest, the only game he didn't really get much is when Galway kept him quiet in the semi-final. Especially after the scores you'd kicked this year. So my choice is Peter Mogan. It's easy, or it's definitely something to say that these guys have definitely refined what it means to be a defender. Like, their transition from defence to attack has been pivotal. And like they create numerous scoring opportunities, and it's an exciting time to be a wee fan. So it is. Watching defenders create scores and chipping into the scoreboard themselves. You know yourself. Now, we'll shift our focus to the half-back line. A critical link between defence and attack this year. So we'll start with Dylan McHugh. Great year. And let's be honest, if he kicks that score in the All-Ireland final, we're heading to extra time, folks. Aren't we? And that could be a different game then. I still think Armagh would have took them. To be my honest opinion. Yeah, I think Armagh would. I think Armagh would. I think Armagh would have took them. Now we move on to Liam Silk. Kicked some very important points this year. None more than the two against Donegal. The second of which really put the nail in the coffin from just outside the D. Outside the yeah. I think that was the point that definitely sent them through to the All Ireland final. So we're going with Liam Silk. Then we go with Captain Marvel, Aidan Fokker. Well, I think he should get an All-Star. He's got into my All-Star team. That's what counts. His leadership throughout the year with Armagh, you could see it on the pitch, directing, telling people what to do, keeping people calm, and then chipping in with some his scores. Them wee pings he hits with the outside of the boot. There's something to there's something to watch. They're beautiful, and to watch him lift Sam. Yeah, something I'll never forget. Something that'll live in my memory, my heart for a lifetime. These three have consistently provided the stability and creativity needed to launch successful counter-attacks as well. Their vision, their accuracy in delivering the ball upfield has been remarkable this year. I am sure that many of you agree that this trio truly earned their Mouth All-Star status. Now, let's move on to these glasses, folks. You tighten them or get new ones, I don't know. Now, let's move on to the midfield. That was a hard one out of the midfield. There's so many people you could have put in there. You know what I mean? Right, I'll just go on anyway. My first pick was Niall Grimley. He came into the championship a bit later, but stood up well to the test when he did. I watched him against Derry, and he was exceptional that day. He set the tone for Armagh physically. The score he hit then in the All Ireland final, the energy, the run, make that run, collect the ball, take a whack. He took a big whack on the hip too as he got it, spins around, pings it over the bar, wallops it. You know what I mean? Personally, top man, Niall Grimley, top man, and it's players that got win you All-Stars, win you the Mouth All-Stars picks. Then I chose Paul Conroy. Paul Conroy had a great season, and at times, then in the All Ireland final when Galway's forwards were they were on a bit of a stinker, so they were. At times, it was Paul Conroy that stood up, so it was, and he showed them grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, and even kicked 3 from play that day. I remember, Paul Conroy was hard to watch that day. This pair have shown exceptional skill, stamina, and leadership. They've battled hard in every game, winning crucial possession and setting the pace for their teams. It's been a joy to watch their command of the field, which it has Niall Grimley anyway. Niall Grimley at times was. But don't get me wrong, I could have easily put in Michael Langdon there or Ben Creeley. I'd say it's the only two you can pick, and they're the two I chose. Because for me, they were the ones. They overall, I think consistency, they were the standout ones. Now we're moving on to the half forward line. So we are, folks. Another one. This is hard because at times you're trying to put people in just to get them in, if you get me. But for me, my half forward line this year is littered with talent and big scores. So here, I'll tell you what it is. First one, I went with Oisín Connolly. Oisín Connody's been a revelation this year. You know what I mean? I think he's probably nailed on for an All-Star, but he might get Young Player of the Year and not an All-Star. So I don't know, but I got my pick anyway. So he did. Oisín Connolly had a chance to play professional soccer and chose Gaelic. chose to represent Armagh, and in the final, yes, 3 points from play, man of the match. That alone could probably get you, and also it should maybe. You know what I mean? Now, see, the next one I put Rian O'Neill in half forward line. Again, I don't want to say everybody's nailed on for an All-Star, but you get into my picks. I'd say Rian is probably going to get into the All-Star lineup. I couldn't see it not happening. Bit of a hothead at times, but kept us cool rightly this year. McGeeney's obviously had a wee word in his ear. Like, even there was a couple of times in I remembered half time in the All-Ireland final, he had the ball. He literally had the ball in his hand when the half time whistle went, and the Galway players were bumping in them like they did that day. There was a big melee, a big scrap, and Rian stuck in the middle of her. His role for Armagh over the years has definitely changed. I think now he's expected to. I don't mean expected, but he just takes that role himself to be everywhere. Big moment player, if you get me. And he like the catch he done against Kerry towards the end was some feeling, and then the score he hit that day too, 55 yards out. That was a crazy point. Now we move on to I suppose this is probably going to be a wee bit of, I don't know if it's going to be controversial or not, but I went with Soupy. So did, and I know Soupy didn't start many games, maybe he didn't start any, came on, I'm not sure. But, right, here's why I chose Soupy. Anytime he did come on, he changed things, definitely. Like when we were playing Galway in Sligo, Soupy came on at half time. Added a bit of pace, directness, forwardness. When he got the ball in at the very, very end, he had the calmness just to fist it over the bar, and that got us the vital point we needed to win the group and go straight through to the quarters. He scored 2 against Kerry in the semi-final. So he did. Probably his best 2 all year. And then when he comes on in the final, folks, you heard the roar yourself. I've never heard a roar like that there for a sub in my life. And then he sets up the goal within like 30 seconds with like a wee hand pass. There's McKay back in the net. But the only thing that might hold him back for an All-Star pick is the fact that he is a finisher in inverted commas. Can't really do that, but you know what I mean. I don't think it should hold him back. It shouldn't count. So, but anyway, tell you what, Super, you made it into the Mouth's All-Star picks. So there you go, big lad, for a player. Let me just turn this page, folks. I think we all can agree that that trio dazzled us with their scores this year. Consistently finding the black spot, lifting the teams when it mattered most. Definitely Soupy did anyway. Soupy when he came on, it was like a kick up the arse for the rest of them sometimes. It has definitely been a memorable season, and moments from these 3 stars. Definitely. Now we're going to the full forwards. These days, they're asked to do a lot more than they were in the past. Full forwards, it's not just a matter of a big man up front. He just stands up there, you lump it up to him, and he catches it and puts it over the bar or in the back of the net. So my picks for full forward were starting with Rob Finnerty. I think Rob Finnerty had a great year. He was carrying an injury leading into the All-Ireland final. That knee wasn't the best. He even kicked that free, so he did. But you could see after he kicked the free, his knee had went. After the wee clash with TK just before it. bit of an innocuous challenge. Just both went down to pick up the ball and looked like they clashed knees. That brought back that you could see he was limping after it on the old knee. And personally, I think when Rob Finnerty came off that day, that changed everything in Armagh's favour. Galway looked rattled. They had to change things. It meant then that Shane Walsh was on free kick duty, where it would have been Finnerty, I reckon. So my pick was Rob Finnerty. Then Turbo, Connor Turbot, top scorer this year, chipped in with important scores. Probably didn't have his best final, so he didn't. But as I said, the role of the full forward has changed. So my pick was Turbo. As I say, he didn't have his best final, but Armagh's defence sort of helped because they scored 1-3 that day. So you know what I mean. Anyway, in the semi final he went off, then come back on. And that point he scored there towards the end against Kerry. Yeah, cool, calm and collected. Now my next pick, I went with Oisín Gallen. This guy can kick a score, can't he? Holy moly. The scores he pinged against Armagh in the Ulster final, by Christ. And then he took a few against Galway in the semi-final. He loves a score, Oisín Gallen, and nothing simple. Ping, ping, ping from outside, you know what I mean? These players, the forward line, are now expected to contribute defensively. So they are. And these three, in my eyes, their ability to adapt and excel in the new roles has been impressive. Definitely showcasing the modern forward's versatility and importance. So there you have it, folks. That was my 15. If you want to send me yours, I've got a wee email. I've got a new email. It's pjkeenan@pjspod.co.uk. That's pjkeenan@pjspod.co.uk. I'd love to see your 15, folks. Folks, we're going to talk now a wee bit about Jimmy Clark. Jimmy Clark retired there after a fantastic, in my opinion again, a fantastic career for both club and county. He had years of thrilling performances for both club and county. He finally hangs up his boots. His impact on the game and his unique style will be missed. Jamie came in and was playing in an Armagh team very much in transition, and you could see it. I remember seeing him at games where he was trying everything. He was back. He was nearly passing the ball to himself. Probably had a better club career with Crossmaglen's dominance. I was there in the county final last year when Cross won again. They're out this year though, so they're not winning this year. But from everybody, Jamie, thank you for the memories and your contribution to Armagh Gaelic football. Folks, last couple of things now. I'm gonna start wrapping up here. But I have to talk about the new rules. Yeah, I don't know. They're going to be tested out this weekend in the provincial challenge games. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, in Croker. I'm actually going, so I'll have a bit more detail about them in the next week's podcast. These changes had to happen, and they aim to enhance the game's flow and excitement. It'll be interesting to see how the teams and players both adapt, even referees. It'll be interesting to see how everybody adapts. And as always, I'll be keeping a close eye on the developments and how they might shape the future of our beautiful sport. Folks, there you have it. My picks for this year's All-Star. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into this season's standout players. Remember, these are just my selections, and I'd love to hear yours. Again, that email address is pjkeenan@pjspod.co.uk. So folks, remember, we're all in this together. Until next time, keep cheering, keep playing, and keep the Gaelic spirit alive. Slán go fóill.